The idea for Treeline came out of a project I was doing for the Crown Letter, which is a collective of women artists around the world, started by Natasha Lisic during the pandemic. I started making these film horizons, where I invited people to send me short clips of the horizon that they could see out their window, and I sewed them together into these continuous panning shots. Treeline came directly out of that idea in order to create a continuous forest landscape. Treeline is new in a way for me, in that it was shot by other people and they sent me their footage and sound. But it also does connect very profoundly, I feel, with the work that I was doing before, where I was recording lots and lots of voices of different people in a particular place. So in the Orkney Islands and on Fair Isle, I made a film called From Time to Time at Sea. Treeline, in a sense, is also about a polyphony of voices and multiple perspectives on the world. So it's on a scale that is much wider and broader. I asked people to send me horizontal panning shots of their trees. And in a sense, that's that idea of filming from the ground, that kind of horizontal view, is also reflected in the kind of idea that it's multiple voices, multiple views. It's not one distant view. It's not an aerial shot. It's not a satellite image of the Earth. It's a view from the ground. My first efforts were really just about getting as much footage as possible and as interesting as possible, and to speak to as many people as possible. People sent me footage from all over the place. I was sent a shot of the peace tree, the ginkgo biloba peace tree in Hiroshima. I was sent incredible sound from Peru, from the rainforest, and I was sent sound from the Indian temperate rainforest in southern India. It wasn't just about receiving clips, if you like. It was about receiving stories from around the world. I felt the generosity and the love and the care that people had for the places that they were sending me. And that was my kind of overwhelming feeling. And a sense that, well, I've really got to tell these stories. The other thing that really came to the fore after, spending a lot of time with the footage, which I just did, I immersed myself in the footage for days, was this sense of, so the form, which I've talked a bit about, and the themes, and how those had to work together. There's sort of themes of labor, of like working the land, of the soil, and the effort of planting, of breaking the soil to plant trees, the effort of mending walls. And then there's the theme of destruction. So the destruction can also involve labor. And then there are times when it really feels like it's not labor, it's just kind of mechanized inertia in a way. The huge industrial scale logging, the threatened environment of forests needed to be connected around the world. One thing I learned doing this project, talking to forestry scientists and people working in forestry, is that well-managed forests often thrive and do much better than abandoned forests. Forestry England reached the World Resources Institute, and they offered footage from all their projects around the world which are involved in planting trees. Because at the same time as all the destruction, there was also this sense of agency that people are planting trees as well, collectively. And so that was extremely important. We have this kind of conventional language of landscape, but the film, in a sense, is against the idea of a landscape that you only look at. It's about a landscape that you're a part of, an environment that you're part of. The forest surrounds you or should surround you, and your relationship with it is close and is one of caring and observation, or can be. So the film plays on the contrast between those two things. But the fact that there are over 100 contributors means that it's people inside the forests, inside amongst the trees, even the trees that have been cut down. And they are very much in contrast with the trees that are surrounding you. We talk about climate change, and it's so global that one feels very disconnected. What happened with Treeline is that I felt kind of drawn to particular places, and there's a kind of sense of being embraced or kind of connected all around the world, and that sense of like a nature corridor that is needed, that we must continue to have on the macro level and on the micro level. Connecting the micro, the individual experience, the feel of the damp grass, the shiny leaf, the little insect, with somebody else's experience somewhere else in the world. That was something I learned from doing this film. It's not just about the object at the end, it's not just the art object. The way that the film was put together, the way the footage was generated, the open call, the conversations, those themselves already demonstrate a capacity for humans to work together, to do something together, to have agency where you might feel helpless. We need to take on board the science and be in conversation with it and reflect, interpret it, so that you can understand what it means in your own life.